We actually agree with John Boyega?
Holy cow.
What? So recently, Deadline came out with an article where John Boyega talked about rewriting the sequel trilogy, and we actually agree with what he has to say. So we're going to get right into it. We're going to get right into the article, and then we're going to talk about our thoughts. So Austin, what did John Boyega say?
Yeah, so this is a huge just news and shocker for someone who was part of the Disney sequel Star Wars trilogy, something that most of us fans out there did not like. And John Boyega, in my opinion, was probably the one who got screwed the most as the character of Finn. Everybody thought he was going to be a Jedi in Force Awakens, and then they just went off the deep end. They jumped the shark. And John Boyega has had a lot of controversial comments over the years, whether they've been about politics or about Star Wars. But one thing we can't agree on is that we do think that Finn should have got his due. And right now, John Boyega has told Deadline that if he was producer, they would have done a completely different thing. And so I'm going to read his quotes here in Deadline. He says, "I would not have gotten rid of Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, all these people. The first thing we're going to do is fulfill their legacy, fulfill their story. We're going to make it a good moment of handling and handing off the baton." And he goes off by saying, he said, the new characters, they're not going to just know how to do everything. They're not going to just be a Mary Sue like Rey. They're not going to just grab stuff and know what to do with it. No, you've got to have struggle like every other character in the franchise. I do that. That's huge.
Yeah.
And the last thing he said that he would look to Old Republic stories for the continuation of the lore in Star Wars. He would definitely want to see Force Unleashed stories in there. I would try to expand the Star Wars universe as much as possible while respecting the lore. If we're expanding the lore, we have to do it within the respective boundaries. That is true. But Luke Skywalker, he wouldn't be just disappearing under a rock. Hell no. Standing there, he's like a projector. I would want to give those characters way more. So those are pretty strong comments about the sequel trilogy. This is rewriting the entirety of what happened. This is putting Luke Skywalker and our favorite characters in the spotlight, the thing that we always should have had, them three together, not killing them all off. He's wanting the new characters to have struggle like Luke Skywalker did, have progression, not just hand him a lightsaber and know what to do with it. And ultimately, he wants to respect what George did with the lore, because those sequels did not give us lore respecting things at all. It really just broke the Star Wars universe. So Ty, what do you think about this? Do you think that he's on the right track here?
So historically, I have not agreed with a lot of points that John Boyega has made. I just vehemently disagree with him. But I can actually say that I gained a lot of respect for him with these comments, because at the end of the day, what we care about most is Star Wars, and we want to see Star Wars flourish. And this guy also apparently wanted to see Star Wars flourish. And obviously, he didn't have any say in the matter. And his character definitely got the boot. I mean, he was essentially a side character by the end of it, and a ridiculous, unnecessary side character,
just yelling
as well, just yelling and no actual stakes in what was going on. And I too thought that he was going to be force sensitive. He was going to be wielding a lightsaber. He could be connected to, a character from the original trilogy or the prequel trilogy, something like that. And they had so much opportunity, and they just squandered it away. Just like they squandered away Luke Skywalker and all these beloved characters of ours. So Austin and I have been very honest and open about how we feel about the sequel trilogy. We think it's absolute trash, absolute garbage.
It's garbage.
If we could retcon the whole entire thing, we would do it in a moment's notice. And we've talked about how in the world can we get back to a place of love for Star Wars, because we both agree that it's probably in the worst place it's ever been right now. And we have a movie, Mandalorian and Grogu, that's coming to theaters very soon, and I'm still kind of skeptical about that. I think we all are.
The trailer was underwhelming.
The trailer was very underwhelming. I'm really hoping that they're hiding a bunch for big reveals in the actual movie, but that's another conversation for another day. Back to this, I really agree that if we made Luke the Luke that we know from books, from actual lore, let him be a powerful Luke, a wise and welcoming Luke, a positive character that never gives up, that always has hope, that gives hope to the galaxy, that trains a whole new generation of younglings. Like, what the heck? Why did you do that to our Luke? I think that's why we're so pissed off, and I think he was too. evidenced by his points.
I mean, obviously these actors were paid to, do what the script said. And even Mark Hamill, obviously he's famous for disagreeing with Rian Johnson about how Luke Skywalker should be portrayed. And I just don't know how you get this entire company of lore and books and all those things and just scrap them. I mean, I've said this time and time again, many of you out there have as well. But with somebody like this who was prominent in the new Disney Star Wars, Disney needs to take a look at what they've done and realize, hey, we screwed up. We may need to go back and fix this. And the new project's coming out. It's just like, what are they really doing? What's the actual through line? Is there actually a plot point here? Is Luke going to come back? I mean, it's kind of like beating a dead horse. But at the end of the day, getting rid of the Skywalkers, crapping on the Skywalkers was the worst mistake. And out there, everyone's like, well, we need to get past the Skywalkers. We can do that. Mandalorian obviously proved that. But you have to respect what came before. You have to respect this family. And the main reason that Star Wars is in the state it is because they crapped on the greatest hero in movie history. And we're just left here well, what are they going to do? They crapped on Luke. They crapped on Obi-Wan. They crapped on Boba Fett. What is left? And so I think John Boyega's comments are super appropriate, super timely, and respecting the lore for me, for someone who grew up in the games like Force Unleashed, Knights of the Old Republic, that's really the thing that I think will bring people back, is diving into this immense and passionate amount of lore that tells really rich stories instead of Disney just trying to wander in the dark.
Right. Yeah, I think if anybody from Disney is watching by some chance, we don't get many views on this channel yet, but if somebody that has any kind of influence is watching this, or you share this and make this video go larger, I think the biggest point would be, we just talked about this, the sequel trilogy spanned 1 year, right?
Yeah.
So all of that damage came from 1 year. But what we can do is we can go prior to the sequel trilogy and we can repair.
Yeah.
We can bring joy back to the fans and actually give an accurate depiction of our beloved characters. Yeah. And I think if we could do that, Star Wars would be in a much better place, and Disney would be in a much better place because they would be making boo-koodles of money. Yep. Isn't that what you want to do? Instead of pushing these stupid gender politics like we've been doing. It was a feminine movement, so they wanted the females to be strong.
Yep. For
no reason, because there's strong female characters in other Star Wars movies, and they were great.
Yeah.
I.e. Padme, Leia. We have we have really strong female characters. They don't have to be just strong for strong's sake and have no reason to be strong, but just pick up a lightsaber and all of a sudden be able to use the Force and fight a Sith Lord. That's just the dumbest, asinine thing I've ever seen and heard of in my life. But hey, let's go with it. And then you get these other shows and you wonder why they tank. It's because y'all are idiots, literal idiots, and just crap on what we've come to love and cherish for so many years. You're destroying our childhood, and you wonder why we hate what you're doing with Star Wars. Come on, read the room.
You pretty much get rid of all character development and character progression in one swoop.
Yeah.
You destroy decades of Luke's progression. You destroy Obi-Wan's sacrifice. You destroy the coolest bounty hunter in the galaxy. And you wonder why people are pissed.
And you destroy the Chosen One prophecy.
Yeah. And you do stupid things like this where you don't even make a character that everybody wanted to be a Jedi, like John Boyega's Finn. And you don't even have a through line for 3 movies. And this is nothing new to any of you out there that are passionate about Star Wars and agree with us. So but at the end of the day, Disney needs to do better. Lucasfilm needs to do better. And when your actors, when your people on the inside are calling you out for it, it's time to wake up.
Yeah, I think that John Boyega saw the handwriting on the wall that he wasn't going to be welcomed back to another movie. So he's like, hey, free reign for me to talk how I actually feel.
Yeah.
And I actually agree with you.
Yeah.
So look, guys on opposite sides can agree.
There you go.
For the sake of Star Wars. We are Fandom Fix. Until next time, signing off.